Hi everyone and welcome back to my channel. Today we are reviewing Gunpowder Milkshake on Sky Cinema, starring Karen Gillan, Lena, Heady and Paul Giamatti. Before we go any further, if you could be a dear and hit that like button for me and hit the subscribe button as well if you haven't already. Us content creators, we need that little ego boost every now and then, we really do. But on a serious note, thank you if you do. Gunpowder Milkshake tells the story of a hit woman played by Karen Gillan. She is operating in this quite strange yet fascinating environment of neon lights and bubblegum and milkshake and 1960s diners and bowling jackets. It's very stylistic and yet hard to really put a finger on the pulse of it. It's a very simple plot in the sense that Karen Gillan's hitman character is given a job to see through, and she does, although it goes a little bit sideways. From the mission going sideways, she now has to clean up after her mess, and it just keeps on getting messier and messier and further out of hand, and further criminals getting involved into what was just quite a simple job to begin with. You may feel like you've heard that plot before, and it's probably because you have. It is a very stereotypical plot for a Jean-Claude Van Damme movie, a Steven Seagal movie. Heck, I mean, there's even parts of John Wick in there. It's not that outlandish. That being said, I felt that Gunpowder Milkshake did a fantastic job of giving it some originality. It's an incredibly stylish movie and it totally works for it. Within the opening scenes, you actually kind of get a police detective noir film with the way the lighting is set and the slow turning fans and the cigarette left in the ashtray. It's very good. I really like that kind of thing where the style kind of is the substance. It just makes the environment incredibly memorable. And it also makes you curious as to wanting to find out more about it, understanding how it works. I feel Gunpowder Milkshake did that balancing act perfectly for me. Not only was I pleased with what I did find out as it came to me, but I was constantly intrigued to find out more about it. Getting into the performances, I thought this was a great vehicle for Karen Gillan to try something new. I already know she's a great actress. I honestly find it hard to remember that she plays Nebula in the Marvel films because it's such... How am I meant to see this woman in that? It's just good to see her trying these new things, different roles, different experiments, and I thought this one suited her quite well. Her character does a great job of delivering female empowerment. They do it right here. They just give the women good character, good personality, genuinely interesting drama, and they make them kick ass too. And it goes past Karen Gillan. I thought all of the performances were pretty good here. I'm a big fan of Lena Heady. I love that woman. I think she's just incredible. So I'm, biased, but again, she's great here. I think she plays that kind of hard-edged mum perfectly. And I really enjoyed the action here. It isn't cut, 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 cut. It holds and lets you watch. Thank you. All of the good stuff, the wide angles, the dollies, the tracking shots, it just lifts the action into being so much more than just a fist fight. I don't want to talk about spoilers, but I'm just going to say the dead arm bit, perfect. That is by far one of the most ingenious action scenes I've seen in a while. I love films that do that they can take such a simple thing that almost any movie will do, a fight scene, and they just take a moment to think outside the box and think, how can we make this different to anything else anyone else is doing? And they really did that here, and it totally paid off. I'm not going to forget that scene. I kind of just want to re-watch that scene alone because it was just so good, funny, interesting, creative. I also thought the pace was pretty solid as well. I think it's about a 2-hour-long movie, maybe just a little bit shy of that. And I have to admit, the only time I really started getting a little bit fidgety in my seat was around the hour 40 mark. So when there was only about 20 minutes to go anyway. And yeah, maybe if we were to go through this with a fine-tooth comb, we probably would find a minute here that doesn't need to be in, a minute there that doesn't need to be in, and it could have been a smoother ride. But realistically, it just wasn't that big of a deal for me. I like the soundtrack, I like the directing, I like the cinematography, I like the writing. I really struggled to find anything with this film that I didn't like. This was just a really pleasant surprise that not enough people are watching or talking about. I do think it could lose some of its own target audience with its violence. For example, someone like myself, I'm not going to give a crap. I've seen all sorts. I've seen intestines coming out of stomachs, heads exploding, eyes being popped out in Casino and stuff like that. Like, I'm used to this. I barely flinch nowadays. Whereas my mum, God bless her, I know for a fact that she is going to be jumping out of her seat left, right and centre. I mean, the mere bang of the gun will probably frighten her, let alone the blood and the gore and the stuff like that. Which is annoying in truth, because I actually think my mum would love this movie if she could table her reservation for the blood and violence. That's not even a sexist thing. That's, you know, there's men that have a weaker stomach for that sort of thing too. And I do just wonder if maybe they stepped a little bit out of the comfort zone in doing that. Would they have been better to keep it nice and tidy and in the pocket and cleaner rather than dirtier? I mean, they even go to the extent of covering up swear words for the child character in the room, which I thought was very sweet and endearing. I wonder if maybe they could have done something like that. Could they have not said to the child, close your eyes, and the screen goes blank, and you just hear the bloodshed and disaster of limbs coming off and all the rest. And as she opens the eyes, you're then given a scene of just pure massacre. I mean, maybe not exactly like that, but is there a way they could have worked around it like that? That's what I'm trying to suggest. I thought this was a really pleasant surprise that I thoroughly enjoyed from start to finish. It absolutely held my attention, and I'm not going to forget it. I found this to be very memorable for something with quite a very generic plot. So I'm going to give Gunpowder Milkshake a 9 out of 10. I love the ingenuity of the film. I love that they took something so done to death and managed to breathe new life into it. Thank you for watching this review. Please be sure to leave a like and subscribe if you haven't already. And please leave a comment as well. I would love to know what you thought of Gunpowder Milkshake. I'd also just like to take a moment to suggest a friend's channel. His channel is Let's Crash This Parade. His name is Jack. He also did a review for Gunpowder Milkshake that I watched a few weeks back, and I just wanted to suggest it to you all because I actually thought it was a very good review, and he has a great channel anyway. And if you're a horror fan like me, he is a must follow. He has some excellent content in regards to horror films, especially the Saw movies, ranking deaths in the Final Destination movies. He's a great channel to watch and follow, so check him out. Take care, and I look forward to seeing you on the next review.